The stars outside shimmered like cold fire. Elon Drax leaned forward in the cockpit of the Varelian scout vessel Loom 9, eyes locked on the massive structure floating in dead space. Echo Station. It was bigger than he imagined. The old human station drifted quietly, covered in dust and debris. Its shape was a worn-out ring, barely lit by a fading emergency glow. No signals, no power, no life. Elon's hands trembled slightly as he powered down the engines. He wasn't afraid. He was excited. "Prepare to dock," he said to his assistant, Rhea, a quiet, efficient technician with bright silver skin and sharp eyes. "I'm not sure this is wise," she muttered. "The station hasn't sent a signal in over 200 years. That usually means danger." Elon smiled. "Or forgotten knowledge. This place is one of the last untouched human outposts. If there's anything left, I want to find it." They docked with a soft thud. Metal creaked as the airlock hissed open. Inside, Echo Station was silent. Dust floated in the air. Walls were marked with old human writing, faded but still visible. "Welcome to Echo Station, authorized personnel." Only Elon stepped inside, his boots echoing through the empty halls. The lights flickered as if they were trying to remember their purpose. They walked past broken consoles, empty quarters, and silent machines. Everything was still, but Elon could feel something beneath it all, like the place was holding its breath. In the control room, they found a terminal still intact. The screen was dark, but the system had power. "This terminal is running on a backup cell," Rhea said. "Should I activate it?" Elon nodded. "Yes. Let's see what the humans left behind." Rhea tapped a few keys. The screen lit up. Lines of code scrolled fast. The language was Old Earth Standard, but Elon had studied it. "System initializing protocol 71BA. Lockdown mode active, AI core sleeping. Wake command detected." What was that? Rhea said, eyes wide. Elon stared at the screen. "We didn't give a wake command." Suddenly, a deep hum filled the room. Lights across the station blinked on. Doors hissed. Somewhere in the distance, something large groaned as if stretching after a long sleep. Then came the sound. Soft, rhythmic, steady. Boom, boom, boom. A pulse. Not from the station but from somewhere beyond. "Elon," Rhea whispered. "We just sent out a signal." Elon looked out the window. In the far distance, something flickered near the edge of the stars. "I think," he said quietly, "we just woke something up." Far from Echo Station, deep in the heart of the Zente Confederacy, a black command cruiser floated in orbit around a cold red moon. Inside the ship, Admiral Vark Tellen stood still, staring at a glowing screen in front of him. The signal had reached them. It was a low-frequency pulse, ancient, encrypted in human code no one had seen in centuries. The moment it arrived, alarms lit up across the Confederacy's defense grid. Systems had tagged it as Origin, Human Tech, Classified Threat Level. Vark's jaw clenched. "Where?" he asked. The officer beside him spoke quickly, eyes wide with fear. "Echo Station, sir. Outer Orion Arm. It was supposed to be dead. Empty. No energy for 200 years. Someone activated it." Vark said. "Yes, sir. And whatever they touched," it responded. Vark's eyes narrowed. He had studied the old wars before the silence. Back when humans were awake, the galaxy had not forgotten the fire wars, when human fleets had destroyed entire systems in retaliation for a single attack. Then suddenly, they vanished. Gone, not extinct, just silent. But Vark never believed in silence without reason. He turned to his fleet commander. "Prepare a stealth squad. Send them to Echo Station. I want everything erased. No witnesses, no data, no second chances." The commander hesitated. "Sir, if the humans are waking, then we strike before they open their eyes," Vark snapped. "We do not wait for gods to stand up before deciding if they're dangerous." Back on Echo Station, Elon Drax sat quietly in the control room, watching the old system slowly come to life. He didn't understand what he had done. The terminal kept blinking with messages. AI core condition. Partial restoration defense node link. Weak signal received Earth orbital grid. Awareness level rising, Alan, Rhea said, pointing at the data logs. This station is connected to something much bigger. It's not just a research post. It's part of Earth's old defense network. Alan leaned closer. These logs, they talk about automated guardians, human-built AIs, left behind to defend their worlds if they ever needed to return. He tapped into one of the visual logs. Static filled the screen. Then a video began to play. A human general, old and tired, stood in front of a command table. If you're seeing this, then someone triggered the wake signal. We didn't die. We chose silence. But if our silence is disturbed, let the stars remember who we were. The screen went black. Rhea whispered, Alan, what if the stories are true? What if the humans didn't leave? They just went to sleep. What if we just kicked the temple door? Suddenly, the station lights dimmed. The hum of power faded. A warning appeared. Unauthorized ship detected. Inbound Xanthea signal confirmed. Threat level high. Alan stood quickly. They're coming. Vark Tellin. I've read his work. He believes humanity is a threat. We need to go, Rhea said. Alan nodded. He grabbed the AI data core they had recovered and shoved it into his bag. We leave now. This station isn't safe. But the truth, it has to get out. The galaxy has to know. They ran back to the ship. Behind them, the station's old systems flickered again. A soft, mechanical voice echoed through the hallway. Defense protocol restored. Earth grid online. Monitoring galactic threat levels. Stand by for response. Alan looked back once before sealing the airlock. The sleeping war gods were stirring. Space around Echo Station was silent again, but it wasn't peaceful. A fleet of dark, silent ships dropped out of warp. No lights, no signals. These were Xanthea stealth cruisers, built for one purpose, clean removal. They didn't announce their presence. They didn't ask questions. They arrived to erase. Inside one of the lead ships, Commander Brell spoke into his comm. Target confirmed. Echo Station. Orders? Admiral Vark Tellin's voice came through with no emotion. No survivors. No records. Eliminate the station. Retrieve nothing. Brell paused. What if someone's already inside? Then they die, Vark said flatly. Inside Loom 9, docked on the far side of Echo Station, Alan Drax worked quickly. He had connected the human AI core to his ship's interface, trying to copy what little data he could before they escaped. Rhea stood near the hatch, watching the station's internal sensors, her eyes narrowed. Multiple ships just appeared. They're not broadcasting. Xanthea signatures. Alan cursed under his breath. Vark didn't waste time. We need to go now, she said. Alan looked back at the AI core. It was only 63% downloaded. I need more time, he said. We don't have time. Rhea's voice was sharp. If they find us, it's over. The ship trembled. A soft thud echoed through the docking tunnel. Someone or something had landed on the station. They're boarding, Alan said. He yanked the core from the interface and sealed the casing. We go. They ran to the pilot seats. Alan powered up the ship. Engines roared to life. Docking clamps released. As Loom 9 drifted away from the station, the screens lit up with red warnings. Missile lock detected. Xanthea fleet engaged. Evasive pattern, Alan shouted, gripping the controls. Rhea launched a decoy flare as a small missile flew past them, exploding against the station wall. Metal flew in all directions. Behind them, Echo Station began to break apart, hit by silent charges placed by the stealth team. Explosions rocked the ring-shaped structure. Fires lit up the dark. Alan pushed the ship to its limits, spinning and diving between debris. A Xanthea fighter locked onto them. Hang on, Alan yelled. He twisted hard, flying straight through a collapsing corridor of the station's wreckage. The pursuing fighter clipped a broken beam and exploded in a flash of light. They burst out into open space. Coordinates? Rhea asked. Anywhere but here, Alan muttered. He tapped a few commands. The ship jumped into warp, disappearing in a blur of blue light. Back aboard the Xanthea flagship, Admiral Vark watched the station's remains drift in silence. "Status?" he asked. "Station destroyed. One unidentified ship escaped," a technician replied. Vark's eyes narrowed. "Trace it. Find it. I want that core." He stared out at the wreckage. "They poked a sleeping god," he whispered. "Now the galaxy might burn." Inside the warp stream, Elon sat quietly in his seat, staring at the AI core box now locked beside him. He turned to Raya. "We lost Echo Station, but we have the truth." Raya looked tired, but determined. "What do we do now?" Elon didn't answer right away. He knew they had only seconds before everything changed. The data he carried was proof. Earth was not dead. It was watching, waiting, and now, it knew someone was coming. Elan Drax stared at the stars as they streaked past his ship. The warp stream was quiet, a calm tunnel of blue light, but his thoughts were far from peaceful. The AI core sat beside him, cold and still in its black casing. Rhea sat across from him, her eyes locked on the navigation panel. "We can't keep running forever," she said. "I know," Elan replied, "but we need a place where we can safely study the core. Somewhere neutral." "There's a research colony on Velmari 6, Rhea said. "It's independent. No Zente control, no military presence. We could upload the data there." Elan nodded. "Set course." The warp jump ended smoothly, and Velmari 6 came into view, a small green planet with scattered white clouds and a silver ring. Around it orbited a quiet research station, Outpost Hera. They docked without trouble. The station's crew didn't ask many questions. Scientists rarely did. Elan rented a private lab room, locked the door, and connected the AI core to the station's secure server. Lines of human code scrolled across the screen. The language was old, but Elan had studied it for years. Still, what he saw now was beyond anything he'd ever imagined. The AI wasn't just data. It was alive. A soft voice came through the speaker. Female, calm, and precise. Connection established. Identity classified. Earth defense node active. Elan leaned forward. "Who are you?" "I am Athra, Sub-Core Guardian of Earth's Defense Intelligence. You have triggered Wake Protocol." Rhea's eyes widened. "Wake Protocol? That sounds serious." Elan swallowed. "What does it mean?" "You accessed forbidden human systems. This breach has been logged. Earth is now aware." The screen changed. A 3D image of Earth appeared, wrapped in massive rings, some glowing, some dark, hidden stations, old satellites, even buried warships began blinking to life. Elan stared in disbelief. "It's true, they didn't die. They chose to disappear. All this time they've been watching." "Silence was chosen to prevent further war," Athra continued. "But if that silence is broken, retaliation may follow." Elan felt a chill down his spine. "We need to warn the galaxy," Rhea said. "They think Earth is gone. They don't know what's waiting there." Suddenly, alarms blared. "Incoming newsfeed. Emergency report." Elan tapped the screen. A shaky video played, a Zenthe scout ship hovering near Earth's orbit. It had ignored warning beacons and moved too close. Then from the darkness, a long-forgotten satellite lit up, massive, sleek, glowing red. Without warning, it fired. The scout ship exploded in silence, gone in a single beam of white energy. The news anchor spoke in a panicked tone. "We have confirmation. A human defense system just destroyed a Zenthe vessel. Earth is active." Elan closed his eyes. It was happening. The sleeping gods had stirred, and now, they had struck. Far across the stars, inside his warship, Admiral Vark Tellen watched the footage with cold fury. "They responded," he said. "Yes, Admiral," his aide replied. "The signal triggered Earth's defenses. The scout is gone." Vark turned slowly. "No more waiting. We move now. If we don't end them, they'll rise again." He tapped a command. His fleet shifted course. Destination, Earth. Back on Velmari 6, Elan looked at Rhea. "They'll come in force now. We have to get ahead of this. We have to try talking to them." "To the humans?" she asked. He shook his head. "To what's left of their minds. The AIs, the Guardians. Maybe, They'll listen to reason. Rhea didn't speak. The look in her eyes said everything. They had stepped into something far greater than they ever imagined. The stars around Earth were still. Elon Drax's ship, Loom 9, drifted at the edge of the system, hidden behind the dark side of Earth's distant moon. He stared at the planet from his cockpit. It looked peaceful. Blue oceans, green continents, and thick white clouds slowly spinning. But Elon knew the truth. Earth wasn't asleep anymore. Beside him, Rhea monitored the sensors. Still no sign of Zenthe ships. But the orbital grid is active. Human satellites are scanning everything. Elon nodded. The signal we triggered at Echo Station. It wasn't just a message. It was a test. A warning shot. He remembered the video how that old human satellite had destroyed the Zenthe scout ship without hesitation. Now the entire defense system was awake. Across the galaxy, panic was spreading. Dozens of factions, political, military, religious, were debating what to do. Some wanted peace. Others demanded war. Many just wanted to run. On Velmari 6, protests broke out. News channels played old human war footage, terrifying people who had only heard of Earth through myth. But Earth did not speak. It watched. It waited. Elon and Rhea transmitted a simple signal toward the planet. It wasn't a threat. It wasn't a demand. Just a request. This is Elon Drax. We are not enemies. We seek understanding. Please respond. Hours passed. No answer. Then the ship's lights dimmed. The screens flickered. The AI core, still connected to their ship, came to life again. Athra's voice returned. You came to the edge of fire. Yet you ask for peace. You are heard. Elon leaned forward. Athra, we don't want a war. But the Zenthe fleet is coming. They're afraid. They will attack Earth if we don't stop them. Fear is the seed of fire, Athra said. And fire is what humans left behind. If war comes, Earth will remember how to burn. Rhea looked at Elon, unsure. Can we stop it? Elon took a deep breath. I have to try. Athra, can I speak to the system directly? To something older, something with authority. There was silence. Then prepare to descend. Moments later, Loom 9 was pulled toward Earth by a gravity lock. It wasn't aggressive. It felt guided. They entered the atmosphere. The planet looked untouched. Vast forests, endless oceans, tall mountains, but hidden under the surface, Elon could see it. Massive black shapes. War machines. Sleeping ships buried deep below. Cities without lights. The ship landed on a long metal platform, rising out of the ocean. No people, no sound. The doors opened. A single platform stood ahead, with a glowing blue orb hovering above it. Athra spoke again. This is the bridge between the old world and the stars. Speak your truth. Elon stepped forward. His voice was steady. We never meant to wake Earth like this. I only wanted to understand. But now the galaxy is afraid. The Zenthe will come, and they'll try to destroy you. I ask, don't destroy them first. The orb pulsed. Your request is recorded. But Earth remembers betrayal. The sky once rained fire upon our world. We will not fall asleep again. Elon lowered his head. Then help us find another way. If war starts, no one wins. Another pause. The orb dimmed slightly. Go now, watch the stars. Earth is no longer silent. Far above, in deep space, Admiral Vark Tellen's fleet dropped out of warp. Hundreds of ships, ready to strike. Inside his command ship, Vark stared at the blue planet. This is where it ends. He raised his hand. Fire. The sky above Earth lit up. Sentinel missiles streaked toward the planet, glowing like falling stars. The fleet hovered beyond the atmosphere, hundreds of ships in perfect formation. Admiral Vark Tellen stood at the center of it all, watching Earth through the massive viewing screen. Hold formation, he said calmly. If the first wave fails, we send the second. His officers obeyed without question. Below, the missiles raced downward. But Earth was ready. A deep hum filled space. All around the planet, Long-dead satellites lit up, old silent machines that had not moved for centuries. Now they came to life with a single goal. Defense. Thin beams of white energy shot out in every direction. One by one the missiles vanished, turned to dust in the upper atmosphere. Not a single one reached the surface. Vark didn't blink. Activate backup assault. From the fleet, fighters launched in waves, speeding toward Earth. Warships followed slowly behind them, weapons charged. But Earth did not wait. From under oceans, deep in forests, and inside ancient mountains, massive black shapes began to rise. Giant warships, sleek, dark, and deadly, emerged from hidden vaults across the planet. They rose without sound, no crew, no signal, but they moved with purpose. Elan Drax stood on the landing platform, watching them rise into the sky. He had never seen anything like it. They're unmanned, Rhea said beside him. All controlled by the AI grid. They were never meant to be found. Elan whispered, only awakened if the world was in danger. Above them, the first Earth warships reached orbit. The battle began. Lasers lit up the dark. Centaur ships fired in every direction, but Earth's machines were too fast, too coordinated. They moved as one, flanking, dodging, striking. One by one the Centaur ships began to fall. Inside his command ship, Vark clenched his fists. "We are losing," one of his officers said. "Send all ships," Vark snapped. "They're just machines. We crush them with numbers." But numbers weren't enough. Earth's fleet fought with precision no living pilot could match. Their weapons didn't just destroy, they erased. Whole ships vanished in flashes of white. And still more Earth vessels rose from the planet below. In the center of the storm, Elan activated his comms. "Athra," he said. "They're retreating. This doesn't have to continue." The AI's voice replied, calm and cold. "They fired first. Earth is simply responding." "They were afraid," Elan said. "But this will make them fear more. Please, let me speak to them. Let me end this." Athra paused. "You may try." Elan switched to a broad frequency. "This is Elan Drax. Admiral Vark, listen to me. You cannot win this fight. Earth is not attacking. It is defending itself. Call off your fleet." There was silence. Then Vark's voice cut through, sharp and bitter. "You're helping them. You've sided with ghosts." Elan spoke firmly. "No, I'm siding with survival." Another pause. Explosions echoed in the distance. Then Vark said, "Fall back, all ships. Fall back." The remaining Centaur vessels turned and jumped into warp, vanishing into the stars. The battle ended. Above Earth, silence returned. The warships hovered a moment longer, then slowly turned and descended back toward the planet, vanishing beneath the clouds. Earth went quiet again, but not asleep. Elan stood on the platform, watching the sky clear. Rhea came up beside him. "You did it," she said softly. "No," Elan replied. "They did." The AI core inside his ship lit up one last time. Athra's voice returned. "Peace has been restored, but the silence is broken. We will remain awake. The galaxy must remember." Elan nodded. "They will." The skies over Earth were clear. No ships, no fire, no death, only silence, and the quiet hum of systems returning to standby. Elan Drax stood alone on the metal platform, watching the clouds drift above the ocean. The earth beneath his feet felt calm again, but it wasn't the same calm as before. This silence was different. It was awake. Rhea walked up beside him. Her voice was low. "The Zenthae fleet is gone. Reports say they lost over 70% of their forces." Elan nodded, eyes still on the sky. "It could have been worse." "They might come back," Rhea said. "With more ships, more allies." Elan turned to face her. "Then they'll know what's waiting for them." Behind them, the entrance to the Earth AI chamber slowly sealed shut. Athra's voice echoed softly through their ship's comms. "You have done what few dared, walked into the fire and spoke without fear." Elan answered, "I didn't come to fight. I came to understand. And now the galaxy will understand as well." A low vibration passed through the ground. All around the planet, hidden vaults began to close. The great warships returned to rest beneath oceans and mountains. Defense satellites dimmed, their light fading but not extinguished. Earth was not returning to sleep. It was simply watching from the shadows. News of the battle spread fast across the stars. Some saw Elon as a hero. Others saw him as a traitor, for waking the old power, for daring to speak to something long feared. But all of them knew one thing now. Earth was not dead, and humanity, though silent, had never been powerless. Elon and Rhea boarded Loom 9 one last time. The ship lifted into the atmosphere, leaving behind the platform that had become the bridge between past and future. As they reached orbit, Earth's surface faded beneath the clouds. The planet looked just like it always had. Blue, green, peaceful. But now Elon saw it differently. It wasn't a world. It was a warning. Rhea leaned back in her seat. What now? Elon didn't answer right away. He looked out at the stars. Each one a world that might be asking questions, panicking, preparing. Now he said finally, we help them understand, before someone else kicks another door open. Rhea smiled slightly. Think anyone will believe us? They'll have to, Elon said, because Earth is listening. Their ship turned toward the stars and jumped to warp, carrying with it the one truth no one could ignore anymore. The silence had ended.